Hi, my name is Steve Goranson. I own and operate the local ActionCOACH office here in Jacksonville, Florida. I've been doing that for the past 10 years. I work with successful and emerging business owners and their teams, help them to increase their profits, cash flow, sales, help them really build amazing teams so we can get that business working without them. I think that today business owners are challenged in many different ways, and a lot of it is it's the fact that they're doing everything themselves. Small business owners are, why did most small business owners become a small business owner? Is because they were really good at what they did. Maybe it was a plumber or it could have been an attorney, and they decided one day, is like they wake up and they say, hey, I hate my boss, and so I can do this better than them. So then what do? They go out, they start their own business, and now what happens is now they're their own boss, and they realize when they look in the mirror they still hate their own boss. Because why? Because they haven't learned how to run a business. They're now still the technician doing the business instead of learning how to create a successful business. At ActionCOACH, our definition of a successful business is a commercial, profitable enterprise that can work without you. And what a small business owner needs to do is learn how to create a team that does the work of the business, so the business owner can then go ahead and really work on the business, and that's where they're going to really enjoy more life. It really sits down to is to be more productive, you need to have a plan. And then once you have that plan, is you have to sit down and think about it. You need to do it not every day, but at the end of every day, is sit down and write down what are the 5 most important things that I need to get done tomorrow. And the reason what you want to do is you want to sit down and at night and do it. So then this way, when you're at sleep, when your mind's is relaxed, and you don't have a lot of distractions going on in your life, you sit down and now your brain subconsciously is starting to look at how do I go ahead and do these tasks. It's sort of sorting through all the different facts that are already in your head, and boom, you have it down. So then once you start that day, you need to figure out, okay, these are my top 5 things I need to do. Now, create your day and break it down into 90-minute segments, because if you could break it down into doing your work into 90-minute segments and on one specific task at a time, you're going to be able to do less but get more done. And I think that's really what small business owners need to do, is figure out how do they work more efficiently than harder. Because we can't work any harder than we are right now. The reason that we have unproductive employees is it's really simple. They don't know what to do. Most of the time we don't train our team on how to do things properly, because the thing I always hear about from business owners is, oh, I have to do it myself. It's like nobody can do it better than me. And the one thing they forget about is when they started doing that particular task, they weren't that good at it either, but through practice, trial and error, or somebody sat down and actually taught them how to do it, they were able to do it better. So it really comes down to is really also the second step is aligning your team to your company goals. You need to create a worthwhile goal for your team, for everybody to wrap their arms around. Not setting up and say, hey, we want to be $1 million, $5 million, $10 million company. That's a business owner's goal. But how do we create a goal of maybe how do we make this the best place to work? Because then, that's something that everybody wants. How do we make this the best business, social media company in Jacksonville, in the world? Everybody wants to be part of the best. And when we're working towards common goals and then giving them something, a worthwhile goal to work for, now they become motivated. Otherwise, instead of just getting up, doing the job, going home, and they don't feel they're doing worthwhile work. A lot of times if a business owner has lost motivation, is they start getting overwhelmed, is they lost their focus. They need to step back and sort of figure out what's my real purpose? What is my vision that I'm trying to create? What is success? Try to define what success means to them. But then most importantly, sort of set up some long-term goals, and once you have those long-term goals, is break them down if you have a 5-year, 1 year, but most importantly, try to set up 90-day goals. Because if you sit down and create a 90-day goal, then every day you can get up and say, what do I need to do today to reach that goal? And sometimes we get we're not motivated because maybe our goals aren't big enough. Sometimes we have to create bigger goals that really excites us to really get us really motivated to go out and do that. So the advice for a business owner that's hit a profitability plateau, again, is getting refocused on what is it that they want. And a lot of times it's, if we need to increase our profitability, we have to look at our profit margins, but you can only cut yourself back, your expenses back so much to do it. But what the next thing is what do we need to do to increase our average dollar sale? How do we get our clients to, when they spend money with us, to spend more? Or how do we, a lot of times, most people have gone into a McDonald's, and what's one of the things that they've always heard is, would you like fries with that? Would you like to supersize that? That was not a question that person just behind the counter just made up. That was a specific strategy that management put in, McDonald's corporate, to go ahead and increase that average dollar sale, that average ticket for each customer that's coming in. So the next thing is really focus on how do I get reoccurring revenue? How do I get my customers to come back and spend money with me over and over again? Because if you can get reoccurring revenue, because once you have a client, you spent the money to buy that client. Now every time that the secret to profitability is get them to come back and over and over and over again. So that's a way to get over that hump if you're stuck in your profits.